Brad Williams, Excel Prime. How to change vertical data to horizontal data. Now this is going to be a little challenging at first because we're going to use this offset function, and this is something new. I will try to explain it the best I can. The offset basically is a starting point. From there, it's a reference, and you count off of whatever that starting point is. So here we have the offset function, and we have a reference. That's the starting point. We have rows, the number of rows to offset below the starting reference. We have columns. These are mandatory, and then we have height and width. We won't focus on height and width. We're just going to focus on these three. Here's how it starts. What we're going to do is we're going to take this range here. It could be any data you want. Here I just grab some states. They're in alphabetical order, and what we want to do is we want to put them in row and columns. We can cut and paste, but here's the way to use offset. Here's the offset. It's set to A3, and this is the starting point, A3. The easiest way to look at this is look at rows. We want to put the first item in the first row and column, and we want to copy this down and across. Notice we have absolute and mixed references here, and then some with nothing. We won't worry about that. I think you guys know how to do that. What you have to do before you attempt to put this offset in is you have to set these numbers. What we're doing is we're saying at row 1, we want this, and then count down 4, and we need to set columns 1 because we have this column and row requirement. Let me show how this works. We got offset A3, which is right here. We have C4 plus D3 minus 2. And what is that? Well, we go to C4 and we count down. Then we go plus D3 right here. So we add 1 and we subtract 2. You'll figure out why we're doing the math there. Here's an easier way to look at this. We look at A3. We have 1. Well, 1 is equivalent of C4. The other one is equivalent of D1. And we're going to subtract 2. And that gives us 0 because we have a 0 starting point. Then we count down. What's the next? We have Arkansas. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the next series is A3, C5 plus D3 minus 2. We'll look over here, and it's easier to interpret. You have A3 is a starting point, A3, and then from there it says 4 plus 1. This is the row. So we're looking at rows and then columns. We don't have to worry about columns. All we're doing is counting rows. And we'll hit escape. We'll go A3, 4 plus 1 minus 2 is 3. So from A3, we count down 3. 1, 2, 3. And that satisfies that requirement. If we do the same thing for the next argument, it will be 7 plus 1 minus 2, which is what? 6 minus 2 is 4. So you count down 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to the next column. We're doing the same thing. We're going to go C plus 4. And here, what we're shooting for is Alaska. And how do we do that? We go C4, which is 1, plus E3, which is 2. So 2 plus 1 is 3 minus 2 is 1. And Alaska is 1. And so on and so forth. If you are a little bit confused how this works, then work it out. Here's the data. Returns a reference to a range that has specified number of rows and columns from a cell or range. Now, this is Microsoft's language. The best way to do this is just to work it out. To build this model, this formula was just simply copied right and down. It computes beautifully. It's just understanding how offset works, and then why are we using C plus 4 plus D3 minus 2? If we offset the rows, you're going to see the change. So just practice and incorporate the offset. This is advanced, so don't be overwhelmed. work at it until you solve it. Brad Williams, Excel Prime. See you soon.